It's not you, it's me.
It seems like you've had
Welcome to Behind the Frame, where we go beyond the LinkedIn bios and Instagram highlight reels to talk about what really happens when you're building something from scratch. I'm Jay Duffy, co-founder of Frame Wealth Partners, business owner, husband, dad, and guy who still wonders if winging it counts as a legitimate growth strategy. Spoiler, it does sometimes. Join me and my amazing co-hosts, Morgan Watson and Annette Quigley, as we sit down with someone who's built a business or is knee-deep in the messy middle of it. And we talk about the real stuff, the pivots, the late nights, the wins no one celebrated, and the lessons no one warned them about. So grab a coffee or something stronger. We're going behind the frame. All right, folks, welcome back to Behind the Frame. I am Jay Duffy, and with me always is the mouth from the South, Morgan Watson.
Thank you, sir.
So Morgan, let's kick things off. What was your weekend win?
Great weekend. So our middle one, who's the first year in college, came back. We actually have both kids back from college this year for fall break. So our third base, our youngest, was home, has been home. Meryl Morgan came back. It's funny, you miss the kids.
Yeah.
But what I really found, it kind of dawned on me, is I miss the interaction of the family together. You know, so it was just fun having everybody back together. It's kind of that, oh yeah, that's what I really enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
So it was great. We had an easy weekend. We just hung out at the house, cooked a lot of food, and just that interaction was great. So it was good. How about yours?
So one was during the week and one was over the weekend. And the first one was we went to the Lainey Wilson concert with
Very nice.
my two daughters. I say that's a win because Lainey didn't go on until 9 o'clock. Kids were tired by 9:30. We were out of there, no traffic. It was awesome. So I count that as a win. And they were excited to see maybe two songs of Lainey Wilson. It was awesome.
Cowboy boots for everyone, I assume?
Yes, I wore my cowboy boots as well. So yeah,
Good, very nice.
we did good. And then the second win is we actually had a commitment-free weekend.
No parties?
No
nothing?
parties, no events, no galas.
Megan sick?
No, Megan was not sick. You would think she maybe like fell under the weather or something,
Yeah.
but no, we actually had nothing, and it was enjoyable.
Oh, wow.
it was
That's a rarity for you.
It's a rare thing in the Duffy household,
Yeah,
but
that's
we were
awesome.
able to recharge and approach the week with a lot of energy, so it was good.
Very nice.
So, Morgan, we got today one of my close friends, great business owner, Joe Rector, co-founder of Pelican Property Management. I'm going to read this just because there's a lot of great insight here on who Pelican is and who Joe is. But Pelican is headquartered in Towson, Maryland. Over his career, Joe has been deeply involved in community association management, leveraging technology, process innovation, and thoughtful leadership to elevate residents' experiences and board performance. Pelican handles HOA, condo management, commercial, multifamily, maintenance, facilities, leasing, and more. I'm sure Joe's going to go over some of that with us today. But I think the biggest thing is during the pandemic, Joe and his team led a rapid transformation, turning many legacy processes digital, rethinking workflows, implementing online voting, and optimizing remote work. Changes that he says are here to stay. So, Joe, welcome to Behind the Frame.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we do this with business owners. What we find is success is really learned and kind of mimicked a lot of places. And our hope for all of this is helping business owners who may not have access to the right mentors use this as a platform to learn and how to grow their business. So first question right off the bat, Pelican Property Management. How'd you come up with the name?
Love the water, love the bird.
Okay.
I'm a secret nerd birder. But, there was a lot of names for our business that we kicked around, and Pelican was my personal favorite because I knew that we could brand it. We have a beautiful logo.
Great logo.
We have a lot of good gear that I feel like people are proud to wear.
Nice.
People like the logo, and our employees are all swagged out every day. It makes me very proud. They always hunt together, pelicans. It's called a squadron. So there's a lot of play on words with there. Our newsletter is called The Squadron.
I like that.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Joe, can you walk us through kind of the background, how you got to this point with you and Jordan establishing Pelican?
Absolutely. So, got out of college and dreamed of joining the property management field, like everyone does, right?
Like everyone.
Exactly.
I fell into a job right after college and learned the business a little bit, and I have a love for finding beauty in things that are a little beat up, and that's kind of the way I looked at property management. Right, I fix up old Jeeps every summer, make them pretty,
Yeah.
drive them around all summer. Kind of saw that in this business a long, long time ago.
Okay.
Fast forward, Jordy and I met through business. Jordy was in the commercial world, I was in the CA side. And we came together and started talking tech and started talking levels of customer service, implementing some hospitality into the business. We sort of mixed up that sauce and took the leap in 2013. Pelican was born, hit the ground running, slowly but surely. It was a slow burn.
Yeah. Yeah.
And fast forward today, we started with about 6 units. That was my first client. It was a 6-unit building.
Oh, okay.
And we're way up in the 100,000 now.
Wow. That's huge. That's huge.
So you and Jordan started it. So question when it comes to that, because we find this all the time, as you have two different people coming to start a business, obviously there's a lot of similarities there that really mesh and work well, but there's also differences. Any differences that were hard to overcome or that y'all had to kind of figure out how to work your way through, or is it pretty seamless?
Sure. So Jordy and I are very different, which is why it works so well. It's like the old yin and yang.
Yeah.
He is a wonderful thinker of tech, pushes tech, which is great. And I'm sort of the people person. I really focus on the company culture, business development.
Yep.
We just mesh really well. Has there been difficult conversations, of course, but it's been a beautiful partnership. Really, they've been far and few between.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing for us. I mean,
Yeah.
it's we have different personalities when it comes to running our business, and we find that that's a rarity in most industries. It's not a partnership. It's usually one CEO kind of leading from the front. So it's cool to see a partnership working. When Pelican began, what did you see? Because you mentioned it just now, like technology, gap in hospitality, but what problem or gap did you see in the property management?
So we've kind of been, there's always been a cat dog type relationship with communities and their property manager. They're like, oh God, the property man, he's going to write me a violation, or what do they really do?
Yeah.
And we have always tried to break outside that black and white and live in the gray and say, like, we want to work with the board. We want you to be a neighbor. We want you to look good. We want your property values to stay up, your dues to stay down. Let us be the bad guy. But ultimately, it's a collaboration, right? Like, you hired us to collaborate with you to make this place better. And that's what honestly we try to do, and we've been really, really good at that. And trying to look at things from different directions is really important in our business, because all we do is problem solve. Like, you don't call me to say, hey,
Great job.
great job. You're something's going down and it needs to be gamed down.
And I've been on vacations with Joe, and him and I kind of talk about this a lot. Is like, can you take a break when you actually go on vacation? And I think sometimes I can, but I watch this man, and he's constantly working. He's out on the deck on the phone with someone.
So it's interesting because, I think that's probably fairly unique for your industry compared to most, where literally if you're being called, it's a problem, right? Usually with us, we get wins and losses, but emotionally, or how do you deal with that? I mean, is that tough ever? Like, phone rings, you're like, oh my gosh, here's another problem coming.
It's funny you say that, because Reese, we've had to interview some new people we're adding to the team, and recently I've been noticing when I'm in the interview process, I've been really trying to give them the downside of the business to make sure they're calloused enough and they know what they're getting into, because it's not as fun or sexy as some people think the real estate world can be. I am a calloused man at this point. It is water off my back. You can't hurt my feelings. I don't get excited easy. I'm a pretty happy guy. And I've been trying to train that with people too. it's not your house, it's their house. Be empathetic.
Yeah.
Don't be defensive. It's their biggest investment. In
Absolutely.
a lot of cases, is the people's real estate.
When we look at challenges or tough moments, or even lessons, your growth, was there any like major misstep or failure that you had that you learned from?
Sure. So we started slow, and it was sort of tough to scale when you're the new guy in town. I was a young man. I looked young, a lot younger than I do now. And so when I was pitching to people were like, "Well, what's your book look like?" You know, well, I don't have one.
Yeah.
And you look like you're a kid. And so that was a tough step to take. And then you kind of start building it, and you get a little momentum, and you start building your book, and you can kind of say, well, I have this and I have that.
Right.
But there was times where we talked a good game, maybe, that we didn't necessarily have a plan to back up.
Right.
Did we figure it out? We sure did.
Sure.
Yeah.
But nowadays we've kind of gotten big enough where you can ride the wave, the good and the bad. And
Right.
I would say the missteps were just that, being
New.
new, being young,
Yeah.
and kind of trial by fire.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's every business owner for the most part goes through that. And that's really where you learn early on, are you a business owner? You know, we're big believers, you know, they're employers and they're employees, and both is fine. The problem is trying to be one when you're the other, right? But having that kind of confidence that, hey, we'll get you the outcome. We don't know how we're going to get there, but we'll do the work to figure it out.
And speaking of expansion, you recently just went through a major expansion, new office. So the way I think of that as a business owner myself is like, all right, I'm running my business, and now we're going to move our entire headquarters to a new location. That just scares the heck out of me.
Oh, so we only moved down the hall.
Okay.
But I built the space. Jordy and I built the space, designed and built with our team.
Oh, wow.
And it is what I had actually dreamed of in the very beginning. And I want it sort of, we are a startup culture. We're getting a little bit more away from that, but we still are. We're fast paced, a lot of young people, a lot of crazy ideas being thrown around and implemented. But we built this space. It's gigantic, and I have this monster kitchen that I built in the middle. We call the nest. So it's a racetrack. All the offices are around, couple conference rooms peppered in, and we put in this monster kitchen. It is a full kitchen. I cook there all the time for everybody.
Yep.
Lunch. We have a giant island. We have shuffleboard tables.
You and Joe would get along.
Yeah.
Both chefs,
Okay.
cooks
All right.
in your own
I
right.
love to cook, and
right there with you.
That's my love language to the employees. You know, I'm like, let's throw down, have some lunch. Everybody grab their laptop, and let's
That's awesome.
let's break some.
That's a great culture, man.
That is awesome.
That's an awesome culture.
So as you're expanding, you're growing, 13, you're starting the business, you're starting to grow, you're getting momentum. COVID hits. How did that affect kind of how you were growing the business?
What a wild time. I mean, there's sometimes that I miss it a little bit because, man, I was spending a lot of time with my family. Like, you realize how much time we were all spending together, and maybe it was a little bit annoying at first, but it was kind of beautiful too. But yeah, we had to flip the switch. What was kind of cool is we were set up. We had a good software company that we've been really shout out Appfolio. Everybody's having a good time in San Diego right now. They called me last night. But we were able to kind of pivot just immediately almost.
That's awesome.
Without a hiccup. It was pretty seamless. And I'd love to say it was by design. I think it was a little bit of luck and a little bit of just how we were kind of gearing things out anyway. We were already using Zoom, which a lot of people, I mean, it's crazy to think now, but Zoom was like, people weren't using Zoom that much in 2019, right? But we were using Zoom as our phone system in the office, right?
Oh, wow.
So it was easy you could message through it or set up a video call very easily, like we all do now with our eyes closed with Teams
Exactly.
and everything. So we were having meetings, you know, I was hiking in the woods sometimes behind my house having meetings. It was great. Business was still kind of coming in, which was weird because you would think that everything kind of paused, but in our business, it really didn't because everybody was home.
I was about
So
to say, it
everybody's-
probably helped a little bit. with that.
Everybody's looking around going, what the heck do they do?
Yeah.
Guy's grass is tall and their trash cans are out again. Do something about it, you know? So it kind of gave us a moment to shine, and we considered ourselves essential, so we were still visiting
Yeah.
properties.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Where do you see HOA property management going over the next 5, 10 years? What's the future look like?
I think you're going to see more and more. I mean, the developers now almost always any development now has to have a third-party management company, and that's written into the bylaws, which are the documents that sort of guide
Yep.
the homeowners association. So well, we're seeing a lot of development over the past years. It's been booming. I think it's getting a little soft now, but they've been cruising for a while, and we're seeing a lot of new houses, a lot of new condo buildings being developed,
Yeah.
renovated. So I think it's just going up and up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Want to hit on some personal things here, leadership, your in a leadership role. What maybe book or resource has been the biggest influence on you as a business owner or a leader?
Book of resources?
Yeah, well, whether it's a book or a resource in general, a mentor, I don't know.
Oh man, I have so many mentors that have been in my life. I feel like I've lived 5 lives, to be honest. And I've met so many wonderful people over the years that
Yeah.
are like that I've taken something from, or they've given. I really should say they've given something to me that I was able to utilize. But you know, James Bond, the CEO of Living Classrooms in Baltimore, is a spectacular dude. I've just always looked up to him. He's done a lot of really neat things. I believe he was on the Swedish ski patrol for a while, and then went on to open this incredible nonprofit that helps inner city kids
Yeah.
learn trades and everything. I worked and taught there as an intern in college, which is how I met him.
Yeah.
And then was a rising star for the Rising Star program of Baltimore, which we raised money to help there. And him and I became buddies, and he showed me a lot about, I guess, fundraising, but also just how to talk to people and be a good person.
Yeah.
Found him very interesting. You know, my kids are mentors sometimes. They're so pure.
Yeah.
They're so organic right now. Like,
Yeah.
if you're ever going to believe anybody, believe them right now, because they will tell you straight. They're like, your mustache is so weird. Cut that thing. And I'm like, yeah, he's probably right.
It's funny because I know his children, and I've listened to some of their interactions, and it's hilarious.
Oh, that's great. And you know, and then I've read. I love to read. Actually, I listen to a lot of books these days because I'm in the car a lot. And I mean, I've been on a tear. But Green Lights by Matthew
Great.
McConaughey, great book.
Great.
Yep.
Great book.
Especially if he's reading it to you. too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Real quick, we'll do the rapid fire questions. I got 3 quick questions for you. So think of whatever comes to your mind first. We'll go with it. Favorite productivity hack?
Swallow the frog.
Okay. Like that. Most underrated trait in a manager?
Empathy.
Like it. Best piece of advice you've ever received?
Trust your gut.
Trust your gut. Love it. Well, let's move into our next section, which is our hot or not takes. And this is, really in relationship to your industry. And again, feel free to elaborate on these questions as well. But we're going to ask a question. You tell us it's hot or not. Sound good, Morgan? Yep.
Virtual board meetings.
Hot.
Okay.
Good.
HOA Facebook groups.
Not.
Any reason why?
Man, they can be vicious on each other, to each other. It is a platform for people, and that can be a really good thing. But people go off, and then they just feed off each other, and you'll start diving into the comments and be like, oh my God, this is vicious. And sometimes it can be towards us, and we're like, hey, we are human.
Yeah, we have feelings.
Yeah, we are not the Gestapo. Like here, we're trying to help you.
So, kind of piggybacking on that. So, presidents of homeowners association, there to help or more of a power grab?
I've seen both, but I think most of the time it comes from a good place in their heart. It is a volunteer position, and it is a tough position. I think a lot of times.
All right. How about strict enforcement of HOA rules?
Hot but not fun. Look, we have to do that, and that's part of our job. And part of that is explaining to people like you can't have 16 purple flamingos out front. I know you love the Ravens, Ronnie, but we can't have that here. You know.
And it's always Ronnie.
Yeah.
It's always Ronnie. It's always Ronnie.
Hiring family members into the business.
Not. But I have been a lot of people, I mean, almost, I would say 70% of my staff has been somehow brought in by me, cross paths with me. It's just how I live my life.
Yeah.
So some of them are very, very close.
Yeah. Totally get it. How about short-term rentals, Airbnb, and HOA communities?
Tough one, but I think it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had to deal with that a lot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the properties are starting to kill that.
Really?
So that's a problem if you have one. The short-term stuff, I think in a vacation market, in a secondary home market is fine.
Yeah.
Over here, it can be tough. For example, in Hunt Valley, I see some stuff in Canton where we have docs coming in from different places in this world that need a place to stay that are visiting Hopkins or something.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
We see that with traveling nurses as well. Seems to be a big thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Open office floor plans.
Hot.
Just did it for you.
Just did it.
Last one on the hot or not. Expanding too fast versus controlled growth. You talked about a slow burn when you originally started, but what do you think now?
We started cruising the past, I'd say 5 years. We were moving fast. So I'd say hot. I like that. I like, again, we're kind of a startup culture. We are cruising. We have some crazy ideas. It's all about getting the right people in place.
Right.
So what we have been very strategic about is hiring people that are way smarter than me to work in the company that act as a counsel for Pelican, really.
Right.
And implementers.
Yeah.
I am an awesome thinker.
Visionary.
I have great ideas, but I need an implementer,
Yep.
and I found a couple of them that are awesome.
That's awesome.
And it's helping me a lot.
That's awesome. There's a great book that talks about that. It's called Rocket Fuel. If you ever read it, if you ever want to listen to it, great book that talks about that. Any other questions before we move into our next segment? So Morgan, we're going to move into our plead the fifth. You want to hit it? Tell Joe what that's about.
So we're going to ask you a series of questions. You have to answer all the questions. You can plead the fifth on one question.
Okay.
All right. We don't know when that question's coming. We're going to throw a couple gotchas out there.
All right.
So as we go in it, just again, give us your completely unadulterated answer to the questions.
Perfect.
But you can plead the fifth for one.
All right. First one. All right, you ready, Joe?
Oh gosh.
Okay. All right. True or false? You've definitely had an HOA board president who thought they knew more than you.
True.
Okay.
Have you ever dropped a client community because the board was just impossible to work with?
True.
How do you have that conversation?
It's not you, it's me.
It seems like you've had that conversation a couple times. It just
Maybe a bit of a recent one. Look, it's tough. We're marrying a property manager to a board, right? That we feel is best. So you're looking at all these different things. Sometimes they don't get along, and we have to replace the manager with that client.
Right.
And then they mesh perfect.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you might go through a couple managers and then really look at the common denominator and discover, it's them.
Yeah.
And we're just not the right fit. We are a bit different. Pelican's different. We're young. We're not your stodgy father's real estate firm.
Yeah. Great.
This is kind of a plead the fifth question, but it just came to me. You know, with your growth in Pelican, how has your role changed? Because again, when you first started out, you're actually managing the properties yourself.
It's a great question. In fact, up till like maybe 2 years ago, I could not let go. I wanted my portfolio. I wanted to be the leader that was in the trenches taking grenades. I practice what I preach.
Yeah.
I'm out there with you. I feel your pain. And it just, until I finally took the leap to just go full leadership, and I still actually have a couple properties that were my like OGs
Yeah.
that I will never let go,
Right.
but they're very easy and they're good clients. But then you realize, oh my gosh, I'm so much more productive and doing so much better for the company.
Yep.
Not
So
being in the
a
trenches.
follow up to that question, because again, we see this with a lot of business owners, is that they want to stay in that comfort zone of doing the same thing that they're really, really good at. And going into leadership is a stretch.
Sometimes they're not good at it.
Yeah.
Sometimes
They
they need
need-
to
they
hire
need-
that source.
They
out.
have to hire that sort of, absolutely. What would you say, piece of advice that you would give any new business owner that's listening now?
It's so one of the things I struggled with is such a friendly guy, and I love people, right? And I love my employees. Some of them are family, some of them are friends, some of them are both.
Yeah.
And so my piece of advice would be go into it looking at the big picture.
Yep. I love that.
Is Jordan hands-on as well in the business? Is he more kind of how you've transitioned into the managing the business? What's his role in the partnership?
So Jordy stays extremely busy looking at new technology.
Okay.
He is the ultimate carpenter of our software. So like anybody can go out and buy this software, right? Anybody can.
Right.
But it's the true craftsman that can use it. So he was sort of an unfair advantage in a lot of cases because we had this software. Again, anybody could buy it, but he was so looking at every single way to utilize it and streamline things and processes he's really good at.
Yeah.
So I'm just so lucky to have him in that regard. In fact, he's out at the software company right now. They're in San Diego. I had to sit this one out this year. We're just too busy.
Yeah.
But he's having a good time nerding out there.
There you go.
You're preaching to the choir. I feel that way. We do a lot of stuff with marketing and media, and thank God Jay handles all of it. And then he'll come in and say, I'll ask a question. He's like, do you even know what you're talking about? I'm like, I got no clue. I got you here. I just had a question. I'm on the people side. You're on the...
Yeah. Have you ever charged a pain and suffering fee in your head, after a board meeting?
Plead the fifth.
Please, fifth. Oh, I got one. There we go. All right, so you got no more left.
That was the last one?
No. We may have one or two more questions, but I think I thought I would get you with that one, so that's why I asked it.
Have you ever gone into a community and started judging the homeowners by their landscaping or their property?
I try to take a really good approach at that, but you have to be careful. I actually got in trouble once, and I think I didn't land the deal actually looking back because they were like, what do you think of the landscaping out front? And I happen to have a little bit of a green thumb.
Yeah.
I was like, we could do something with that. I thought that's where the conversation was going, but turned out I was talking to the landscape committee leader, and he was like super offended. And I was like, whoa. I learned that, I was like, yes. That was probably a bad move.
What was that? I just had a question here. Yeah, here it is. Have you ever ignored an email chain just to see how long it would go without you?
No.
Okay. I want to try and attempt that
Yeah.
at one point.
I do that all the time.
I know you seem to do it really well.
I mastered that.
I need to.
I try to train the people I work with too. I'm like, I hate when I'm like, you can CC me, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when you draft an email,
Yeah.
everybody's in the two. You didn't direct it to anybody. You're just copying the high up, the accountant,
Yep.
and your property manager. None of us know who you're really trying to talk to.
Right. And that's where it gets confusing.
And it starts.
Oh yeah. And then you're on the chain. Yep. For a long time. Yep. Totally get it.
Who do you trust less? A weatherman, an economist, or a head of a board that says we're going to keep the meeting short?
Man, that is a tough question. All those guys. Probably the economist.
That's fair.
That's fair. Last one. Which is worse, a 2-hour budget meeting or a broken HVAC system at 4 p.m. on a Friday? So you got to go back to your days when you were
Budget meeting.
Budget
all
meeting.
day. Give me, look, I can quarterback out an HVAC guy and not
right.
even have to touch the issue,
Yeah.
really. The board meetings, what we're seeing in our industry, unfortunately, right now is that after that Florida building collapsed, that condo building,
Yeah.
they implemented some legislature where you have to have a reserve study and then fund your reserve, which is essentially your savings account, to what they're saying. The problem with that is they'll have an engineer come out to your community and say, the sidewalks are going to be $500,000 in 2030, right? Because they're looking at the general
Wear and tear,
lifespan.
yep.
But if the sidewalks all fail at once, we got bigger issues. Right. We're not gonna fix all the sidewalks at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's been a hard thing to try to figure out, and it's freaked a lot of people out. But what it did bring up was that, and this is why back to budgets, is that a lot of people were not saving enough. So we've had 15% increases. We've had 60% increases in the dues. So you can imagine if you bought a condo 3 years ago, you were paying $200 a month, and it went up to $700 all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And
That's a big.
yeah, and you're not. A lot of them don't have that many amenities. You're not no doorman, no elevator in some cases.
Yeah. Jeez. Joe, with the growth of Pelican, now we were talking earlier, you're at a stage where you're giving back some of your time. What are you doing now?
So we definitely all try to give back. Jordy has the things that he's big on. One of the things I'm big on is there's a park around the corner from our offices. It's Cromwell Valley Park, CVP, shout out.
There you go.
And I would hike there, and I've taken team members, the support team, hiking there to go get lunch. There's a sneaky trail that can lead right to McFalls.
Oh,
So
there you go.
it's a good little
Falls has got great wings. Yeah, they do.
3-mile hike. But I hike there so much by myself, do a lot of thinking, a lot of my best thinking. And the opportunity came to join the board there, the board of directors. I did. I've been serving now probably, I believe this is my last year. I'm vice president there now. We just had Arts in the Park this weekend. Pelican sponsored the pony rides. We had Scribe playing music. Big weekend,
That's
lots of
awesome.
art, lots of people enjoying the outside.
Where's that passion come from? Is it just something that you learned maybe from James Bond or?
Yeah, I think so. There's the things you care about, that touch you, you want to kind of help a little bit. And I think a lot of people underutilize the outdoors and what it can offer us in our headspace. And
Yeah.
I try to teach that to the employees. Like they'll moan, I'm not going with you. I'm like, we're keeping a good pace too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this hike's gonna be a hike. And after they do it, they're like, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
Like that was so good.
Well, you mentioned kind of it's where you do some of your best thinking, and we see this constantly with business owners. I think the more successful business owners are able to find time out of their business and spend time on their business, and trying to manage those two things can be tough because you're so focused in the business of running the business, but you got to be able to step back and find those times.
Yeah. Something Jordy always says that's kind of funny is put your mask on first. Like when you get on the airplane, what do they tell you?
Yep.
If this thing's going down, put your mask on first. take care of yourself so you can take care of everybody else.
Yeah.
Right. He says that. I love that when he says that.
That's a great point. I think that's a great ending point. Joe, where can those, our listeners, find Pelican?
www.pelican, M as in Michael, G as in golf, T as in Tom.com. So that's pelicanmgt.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff.
And then we'll put Joe's cell phone in the show notes. So-
Oh yeah, that'd be fabulous.
Stop by for lunch.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Joe, thanks for being on our show.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
wonderful.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Oh, super. Thanks.
Bye-bye.